Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here at Esther 5D Energy for another multi-dimensional Monday. I appreciate you joining and subscribing and going on this journey with me. It was quite a message last week, wasn't it, from the Galactic Command? They talked about inner conflict, and that is something so human, so common between all of us, isn't it? Something we all experience here. So I hope the information that they gave you was helpful. I hope that you got something that you could really sink your teeth into and look at, observe yourself, and go into that inner conversation to help peel back those layers so that you can truly understand who you are as an individual. And part of that is understanding how we think about things. And once we can step back and look at that, we can start making some changes that, for me personally, made me feel physically better, mentally better. Just everything started to flow better for me in my life when I was able to unpack some of that way of thinking, that inner conflict, those issues that would come up. And I know that there's more for me that's going to come up in the future. And I look forward to looking at those inner conflicts that come up, that inner conversation that comes up, to see what makes me tick, why I think the way I do. And that just helps me expand my consciousness. That's one of those ways that's right there with you all the time that you can work on. It doesn't cost anything. It does take a little bit of your time. It takes a little quiet time to be a little introspective, I will call it, to look at yourself and be really honest with yourself. I've had to look at issues several times before I really felt like I got to the root of what it was I was learning from some of these issues. That way of being honest for me kind of came in layers, where I assumed something was true, but yet given time and letting it sit and letting it be and not being afraid of it and pushing it away, I was able to open it up to a deeper level within myself, a deeper level of honesty within myself that I didn't even know I had. Because I've always thought that I was being honest with myself about things. I thought, well, if there's one person I can trust and be honest with myself in many occasions, it's me, right? But when it comes to some of those deeper issues, it takes time to unpack. So be patient with yourself, but also enjoy it, because as you allow that to happen, you go to the next level of your development. Your consciousness expands automatically because you're willing to learn who you are. And I'm going to go into channel now and see what the guides have to say for this week. And again, I want to thank you for listening and subscribing. This vessel steps back. And we come forward. This is once again the Galactic Command. We have been monitoring the situation on your Earth plane since the beginning of this planet. And as water in a pan reaches a point where it changes into steam, just as the Earth is changing, it reaches a boiling point like water bubbling and churning, and stuff in that old pan can get loosened up, come to the surface, doesn't it? And the Earth is like that pan that's got things stuck in there. And the boiling of the human collective is reaching a point where it's bringing it to the top. This is a good thing. It may not look like it to some of you in your lives right now or within some of your areas where you live, but just know that it is before a transition that the boiling happens. The steam cannot come about until the water itself reaches a certain temperature to allow for change. The human collective is sacred, and we honor you as a whole. You see, you are connected energetically in a way that you do not realize. There is things called the Schumann resonance that we will say measures human emotion and collectiveness, but it is even on a grander scale than that. So you have decided as a whole planet, as a consciousness, as a human consciousness collectively joined together to shift into a higher level of evolution. And that takes you to a different place in your history where that boiling point is reached. And some of those things that have been there the whole time, stuck in the pan, so to speak, are shaking loose, coming to the top. They may look like they're taking over the boiling point at this time, right? All the issues, the calcification perhaps that's been in your governments and the way of doing things seems to be coming up again. It's been there and it's been kind of in the background, and now it's surfacing to be looked at and decided upon. For there is quite an intelligence with the human collective on a certain level that, again, is sacred, that you can tap into, but you really don't understand totally from your perspective the vastness of the intelligence that the human collective has for itself and its timing and why it does things the way it does. And so some of the roles that you're playing here, the bad actors that are coming forward or those that are triggering you in your world, saying and doing things that you feel are unacceptable, are pushing the boiling point. You see, they're doing their part. They haven't always been the bad guy in history. They have not. In fact, you have played those roles yourself. But there were those that were ready in this period of time because they knew it was important to move forward, to step up and really stir the pot, so to speak, get the heat going, get that boiling going. It's an accelerated ascension process. So all of you are participating in it in some fashion, whether you are focusing on it or not. Your presence was needed here. Your frequency was needed here to complete this ascension process. And you will keep returning until it is done for those that it is appropriate. There are those of you that spend a very short time on the earth plane and go to other places. You come in as specialists for certain attributes that you have in your frequency, and then you leave and you go on to something else. And we honor that as well. But for most of you in this group, you are those that we would call the old soul, the ones that have been since the beginning, developing humanity as a way of being, really crafting this earth in a way that you can enjoy it, but also experience something different here. And so we honor that difference, that choice of wanting to develop what it is to be human on many different levels. You are multidimensional. So there is more than one level that you are experiencing all at once. And as you go into higher consciousness, you will be able to appreciate this more and more. You will begin to perhaps feel it before you actually see it. Some of you are getting visions or pictures or knowings of things coming up in your world before it happens. you perhaps intuitively are learning to lock into that a little bit and honor that as something intrinsic to the human being that you can enjoy and expand on. For the energy is shifting already. It is here. The water is boiling in the pan. And there are changes being made here on all levels. And as you embrace that, embrace your journey as being part of it, as being an intrinsic part of it. For as the old soul, you have the experience. You're awakening now, looking around, knowing the difference between the way you want to be and the way it appears in your 3D reality. So you are part of that designer group that comes in and says, we know how to create. We know we're the creator. By our thoughts, feelings, and actions, we can create something different here. So draw on the wisdom that is within yourself, that has been experienced here by you, the good stuff. There is much of it. And know that our energetic support for that will help you to bring it forward. So don't be afraid to ask us to bring forward the good stuff to you. As the Galactic Command, that is part of why we are here, is to transmit energetically to each and every one of you a very high frequency, a volume of frequency that you can feel in your heart and you can just relax into as we speak and say yes to that transmission of energy that we are giving right now. Say yes to those realizations that are the good stuff, the information that you need for this particular time period in your history of being human. You're going to the next evolutionary stage. You're shifting into it as we speak. It is happening now for you, for all of you. And as the way showers, as the ones that came early on to develop what a human being was and how you wanted to live, remind yourself of being that divine creator, enjoying your creation. It is a very literal way of being here in the 3D reality, that you are seriously creating your reality by the way each moment you feel and navigate and interpret your perspectives, the ones that are very repetitive and strong. Just know that you can ask for that energetic support anytime to pull forward the good stuff in your Akashic record, in your lifetimes, many lifetimes of being here. The wisdom of the human collective is ready for you to use it in this way. This is the ascension process, to get to that place where everything is working in harmony. So that alignment in your being can be called upon. That full alignment of balance in your being can be called upon and used to navigate this system and to shift your personal perspective, to shift your personal reality. But remember, as an old soul, as one of the original ones that came here to do this work, your energy is huge and it radiates out and affects many people. So you don't only just affect your own reality, you affect others around you. And this is some of the good stuff that now you're ready to know and understand. And there's no pressure here on how to do it exactly, because your path has been planned out in a way from your higher self. Your soul level knows exactly where it's going with this. And as you are able to tune into that and ask for that wisdom to come forward in this human collective shifting time that you are really so glad that you are here to be part of. You can use this to your advantage, and there is nothing wrong with that. There should be no guilt attached to it, for you have been here since the beginning, and it is everyone's birthright to have the best life possible in the best way. So feel free to use your gifts, your abilities. That is like someone knowing how to sing or play music, but yet not doing it because the person next to them really doesn't know how to sing or know how to play music. So they feel bad they don't use their talent, their gift. Would that make sense to you, really? It is the same with your innate abilities. It may be music or singing. It also may be other things that you are really good at, that you are in tune with. Expand on those things. Feel good about it. Feel good about knowing how to shift your reality. Feel good about that. Feel good about knowing that it is on you. It is within your being that you can shift your thinking patterns and your emotions and feelings towards life in general in a positive way. And when things negative come at you, still say there must be a reason for this in the positive, or else this negative thing wouldn't have shown up. And wait to see how it unfolds. For everything, when you stay in a positive state of energy that happens, that challenges you, comes forward, there is a reason. And you can allow that to be for a bit and look at it and see what comes of it. Not immediately think you've done something wrong and that's why it happened, or you're not good enough, that's why it happened, or this isn't real, that's why it happened. No, we understand that it's a matter of trusting this energy to be there for you. And we transmit on a regular level to the earth plane that loving energy for any that are open to it, to allow them to feel loved and trusted, to allow them to know that they can trust what our words are and the energy behind it, so that you too can begin to embrace who you truly are and the magnificence of that. And that is our message for you today. To embrace all that you are for the many, many lifetimes, hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 lifetimes you've had here since the beginning. So use your gifts, use your talents, use your abilities for yourself in a way that shifts your reality as the creator of it. And know that by doing that, you do go into the best version of yourself, and that elevates everything around you in a way that you cannot really imagine how it's connected. But trust who you are and the magnificence of your ability. We love you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for listening.